where we had stopped. Yeah. Okay. How many of you remember the defect life cycle? Do you remember that? Who remember the defect life cycle? Last time we covered. Okay. Who remember this workflow diagram? Can you see the workflow diagram on the screen, guys? No?
No.
Okay.
Oh, now I can. Yeah, yeah.
Okay. Now you can see.
Yeah.
So this is, and here I was mentioning defect life cycle.
Oh,
So,
yeah.
okay. Rest, are you able to remember this?
Yes.
Okay. Aparna, remember? Someone remember?
Yes.
Who else?
Yes.
Okay, so I believe now you have memory refreshed. So remember, this is a very important diagram because as a BA, you should not only know the your task, but also you should be well versed with other tasks as well. So this is, even though it is called defect life cycle, you must be aware and you should know when an incident comes into the project, how it should be handled and where it will go. Now, after defect life cycle, something which we call it as ER diagram, and we also call it as a business domain model. Do you remember this ER diagram we were talking about last time?
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone?
Yes.
So
Yes.
it's an entity relationship diagram. This is basically talking about the relationship between tables in a database. Okay, I gave an example of database using this. Then we talked about UI wireframe. Even though name sounds very complicated or very fancy, but the job is very simple. Three types of UI wireframe comes in: high level, high fidelity, low fidelity, and medium fidelity UI prototype. Initially, these are placeholder. Then we um, design the structure, and then we create the structure as it is. It's supposed to be. Then we move to WBS chart example. That is, can someone tell me what is WBS?
Work breakdown structure.
Exactly. So work breakdown structure, and we tried giving you an example with the sitemap. Do you remember?
Yeah.
Sitemap example.
Yes.
Someone told me to go to Udemy, and there we saw sitemap and it was
Yeah.
linear.
Yes.
But I asked you that you can create a tree structure as well. So today is very, very important, and we are going to learn about documents, template, and understanding. So there are various types of documents as a business analyst you need to create, gather, and produce and publish. Okay, what are those documents are? We are going to learn about it in detail. And at the end of today session, what I want you to come up with a team, okay, and that team will create a document. That team will decide to create a document, and for that you will have to just allocate a little bit time where centrally one document would be there, and you can come together and you can contribute. So do you think you will be able to contribute as a team, provided I'll tell you how to do it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Aparna, Saman, yes. Okay, who
Yes.
else?
Yes.
Okay, Pratibha says yes.
Yes.
Okay, all right. So whoever has contributed already, like Apamita and Suchna, if you think that you can be means guiding force, or you can be indicator over here, so you can start to contribute in that manner as well. So that will be totally fine. But the primary activity will be done by Tejaswini, Pratibha, and Saman and Aparna, and who else? And Sonali is not showing up today, so it will be for Sonali as well. So I think Sonali last time could not show up, and today as well. So that's fine. So the list of documents are mentioned over here. Few are known as the very first one we are going to talk about is project vision document. So that is number one, but should be known as but okay, not necessary. Project vision document not necessary, but should be known. A known reason to product owner. Okay, so what is this talking about? So project vision document is generally created by product owner, but BAs, as in business analysts, are asked generally to contribute in it. Does it make sense to you what just now I said? Yeah, project vision document is
Yeah.
created by whom?
By the BA.
BS.
No, it is created by product owner, but product owner may ask you as a business analyst to help them. Clear?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
We'll talk about it more, about its insider, what comes inside it. Then comes requirement management plan. So this is another document, user story, use case, business requirement document, requirement traceability matrix. It is not created by a business analyst generally, but you should be aware that what is it and how you will be able to contribute into it. So it can generally come to you for review. For what reason it may come to you? Requirement traceability matrix I'm talking about. For what reason it may come to you, BS, future BS?
To review.
To review. Exactly, you are right. Thank you so much for answering. And functional requirement specification is also known as FRS. So FRS is known as what?
Functional requirements
Functional requirement
specification.
specification.
Exactly, you are right. And also sometime FRD means functional specification document. Okay, then comes system requirement document as well as known as SRS, or system requirement document means SRD, and then comes test case. So test case, even though not always testers will prepare this, but you should be also knowing what this test case is, what are its key elements are. To start with, if we'll see project vision document, sometime what may ask in the you know interview, you are asked, can you tell me the key elements of project vision document? Can you tell me the key identifiers of project vision document? Okay, so you should be well versed with it, that what does go inside project vision document. Okay, so what kind of question can come up for project vision document or any document? Do you have any idea now? Do you have fair idea now? This is generally asked question. You are good? Did you understand what I said? Did you hear that?
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
Okay, cool. So the very first thing we see here is project vision document, and here few things are common that you need to able to introduce, and that comes into introduction section of project vision document. I'm going to tell it as call it as a PVD. What I'm going to call it as?
PVD.
PVD.
Exactly. So pay your attention over here. PVD will have introduction section, description of users in the system, what kind of user it could be. For a banking project, for cash withdrawal or tailoring activity, I may have branch manager, I may have cashier, I may have teller, I may have supervisor and clerk and whatnot. Okay, so there could be various positions that will undergo under users. So there is a one section which talks about description of users in the system. In that section you will describe those users. Then comes product overview, where you are talking about that product which they are going to use. Say for example, for banking project, if the product is ATM card or ATM machine, or say deposit slip. I'm just giving some example. Yeah, or it could be anything else. Okay, it could be passbook, it could be check. So there are various instrument or various product. So that will be coming under overview. Then comes product feature. Now the feature are withdrawal, deposit, and check balance, and fund transfer, and then RTGS, and then third party transfer, and then check issuance and all. So these comes under product feature. So are you with me so far, everyone?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Then comes product requirement. At what point of time the requirement triggers? Then if it has got some assumption, limitation, or constraint, that will come under constraint or limitation. And then comes quality document requirement. So for quality certification, what all document we require? It may ask for test case document, it may ask for test report document, it may ask for uh, defect summary report document, it may also ask for quality gate document. So these are various documents may come under quality document requirement. Are we good so far with the project vision document? What it may include?
Yes.
Yeah, thank you.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then comes this requirement management plan. So when we are talking about requirement management plan, it has various ingredient. It has got various section. Like purpose of this requirement plan should be clear. That will undergo in purpose of plan. Then comes responsibility assignment, where every user will have what kind of assignment that will clarify in this section. Then comes tools and procedures to be used, that will come under this function, this section, the tools. Sometime you would be using Jira, also you would be using Trello, also you would be using Monday.com. These are the various tools. Say for example for Jira, you are using just for defect reporting. Trello you are using for requirement gathering only. Monday.com you are using for client defect management only. Then comes the another document, say Confluence, that you are using at word processing. So all these things will come under tools and procedure to be used. Are we good so far here? Tools and procedures. I gave you some
Yes.
examples.
Yeah.
Yes.
Then approach to defining requirements, that will come over here. Every requirement will have a approach that we are going to define in this section. And then approach towards requirement traceability. So requirement traceability will have, we will begin to see that what all comes under requirement. So every requirement will have one identification number, and every requirement identification number will have, may have the multiple test cases and test scenario or test condition. So those things may appear towards the approach, that how the requirement will be traced, okay, against test cases or test condition or use cases. So that comes under approach towards requirement traceability. Then workflows and activities, if any mock diagrams are there, that will come under this. And then change management. So what happens, some existing requirement is already there, but sometimes customer comes with a few change. We give it as a name of a what, change requirement document, okay, or change requirement identifier. So we sometime in the corporate world you will come to know about these terminology, which is called as CR. Have you heard this term CR? Everyone? Anyone?
Yes. Yes.
Okay, you have heard Aparna? Great. Great
Yeah.
to know about it. So yes, CR are just kind of a small tiny features, new features, or existing modifiable features that is introduced and come to the project team, and we code them as a CR. So those CR will be briefed under change management as well. Or those changes will also have the life cycle, that before incorporation what all phases they will undergo. Okay, so that will be covered under change management system. Okay,
Can you please repeat what is this year?
CR is just a simple change request. The change request is kind of a small changes in an existing project. Sometime client may ask to repeat it, to revise it, and to incorporate it. So that is called as CR. But
Okay, thank you.
before incorporation, it undergo various phases. Okay, and that is described and incorporated in the change management. Okay, and that change management is the part of requirement management plan. So good with this, everyone?
Yeah, Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
So
Yes.
thank you. So another document. Now this is document and very less use because it has taken the shape, picture, and the name of user story. Okay, but earlier use case diagram or use case document used to come as a standalone document, and it used to cater these sections, which is actors means users, description of particular feature or particular use case. Use case is a small section of a requirement. Okay, small requirement of a bigger requirement, small feature of a bigger requirement, small improvement or small functionality of a bigger requirement, and that is called as use case. Okay, and when this use case will be triggered, that goes under trigger section. Okay, say for example balance will be showed when the check balance will be clicked. That is number one trigger. Number two trigger will be the moment the cash withdrawal will happen, then also at the end check balance will be shown. That is the second trigger. Number three, the moment the deposit gets completed, at the end the balance will be shown. That is the third trigger. So can you see that use case is the check balance or view balance, and the triggers are three. Are you getting my point? Hello, can you
Yes.
hear?
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
was talking about view balance, and its trigger are three. One, once one user will click on check balance. Second, the moment cash withdrawal gets completed. Number two, the moment deposit will be completed, and or number three, the fund transfer will get completed. So in that case, and fund transfer may not be recognized as a trigger four, because ultimately in fund transfer the amount is withdrawn. Okay, and we are already covering this trigger in the cash withdrawal trigger. So here there will be three trigger for one use case, and every one use case will cater one trigger. Okay, so and for that trigger, we will have one major detailed explanation or detailed test cases for that, that will be executed by testers, and even in some time by uh, business analysts for for functional check point of view. So this trigger always will have the precondition. Precondition will have that the customer record already existing. Then only you can view the balance of that customer. The account is already existing. Then only you can check the balance of the um, balance of that account. Are you with me so far, everyone? Able to? Is it making
Yes.
some sense? Yeah. Thank you.
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Then in the normal flow, you will define the normal flow of the check view balance. So view balance at any point of time, customer is going to click on the view balance, and it will give you the current available balance, sometime ledger balance, sometime anticipated check to be cleared. So all those details will be there in the view balance. Exception, in some cases view balance will not be shown. Say for example, you can talk about check issuance. If you are checking the check if you're checking the check status, it will not show the view balance. Okay, if you are checking for the loan details, it will not show the bank account balance. So that should be clarified, and that should be kept as out of scope from the view balance use case, so that you will clearly mention over here. Spatial requirement. So what is happening? Customer want to emphasize that balance should not be ignored the moment the RTGS will happen, or the moment fund transfer, electronic fund transfer take place, because generally at this time this feature gets ignored. So he will mention that, or quote again that this is the spatial requirement, requirement that especially during the fund transfer, you are going to incorporate view balance and you get agree onto that. Assumption will be there that you will cater in the assumption and notes and issues. If any existing, you will cater into notes and issues. So that will go under use case. But remember, now this thing has been taken or replaced by user story. So you should be very much aware that how to write a user story. So today we will also look at how to write user story. But for use case document, if we need to create. So are you good that you understand what all the key elements will come? Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
So now comes that user story. So user story is nothing but a format, okay, of requirement. So it caters three things: who has to do, what has to be done, and why it has to be done. Okay. So what is the very first thing in user story comes into the picture? It is who. Who has to do this? Here all the user comes into the picture. The second, what comes into the picture in user story? Second element is kindly name the second element of user story.
What?
Exactly. What? So what is to be done? That will come under what. And the third element of user story will be
Why?
Why?
why. So why it has to be done. So there is a format to complete it. I always keep on telling that what is the format. So the format is you are going to mention like this as a who means user. You are going to take a note of it. I hope the recording is ongoing. Yeah. So you can take a note of it. As a who means user, I should be able to do what means the action, so that why means the impact. So as a user, I should be able to perform this action so that this final impact will be attained. Okay, that you are, this is how you are going to write a user story in any requirement management tool. And to support it, you can add some screenshot, picture, images, or any additional supporting document. Good with this? Did you understand how to write a user story?
Yes.
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 Cool. So, Tejaswini, you are good with this as well?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Then comes the BRD. So, BRD is nothing but the business requirement document. Okay. So, for BRD, it goes just like, this document where it is. Okay, BRD is just like requirement management plan. But when we are talking about BRD, understand that these all documents, whatever I have talked to you about it, so these documents is going to be part of your organization. So it comes with the all those sections which I have quoted earlier. Okay, and remember that it also varies from company to company. So in case you don't have a BRD document, okay, what you are going to do, you can simply download a template from Google and you can start using that. Why you need to download from the Google? Because generally it is found that every company have their own format, and the moment you join in, you are given the format and you will be asked to use that. Okay, but in case the company is a startup and they are just finalizing what is going to be the best, that time you can use the already available template that is available on the web, and you don't need to reinvent the wheel for this. Okay, it will cater all those key ingredient what you have seen so far. It will talk about in scope, what is in scope of the requirement, what is out of scope of the requirement, who all are the user who are going to work in the these business requirement document. Business requirement document has multiple, will have the multiple versions. Every version will be approved by the person. the senior person. So generally for BA, if they are gathering some requirement, you know the requirement gathering process. So if you are gathering the requirement, so senior BA can approve it. Sometime product owner can approve it, and sometime Scrum Master can also have a look at it. So you will continue to cater the reviewer part, the approver part. That will be a simple table. Okay, just give me a second. I am going to plug into the power. Just give me a second. Okay, I'm back. Can you hear me, everyone?
Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. So I was talking about BRD document. So all those elements for the, and it will also cater the use case numbers where every use case will be briefed into BRD. So this is going to be your task. What I'm going to do is that you do your self study for BRD and come with all the key elements, all the possible key elements you think you can cater inside the BRD document. Okay, and then I'll tell you what is the next level of task it would be. Okay, then comes to the requirement traceability matrix. So here requirement ID will be captured from the BRD document, business requirement document, and that mini requirement description will go into the requirement. This can be captured into the spreadsheet. However, BRD can be written in the Word file or word processing file. Then requirement traceability matrix will also have the requirement description against, or against requirement description, the functional requirement, how they will function, that you are going to mention that. What is the status? Is it in progress? It is already done, or it is in inception, or it is yet to start? That you are going to mention where, in which column? Hello, in which column you are going to mention? Are you paying attention what I said? What I was talking about just now? Who can answer? Wow. So anyone can try what I was talking.
Requirement ID.
No, I passed that already.
Status, sir, you are talking about.
Yes, thank you so much, Pratibha, for paying attention. Yes, I was talking about status. So I'm checking with every one of you every single time. You are responding me yes. So are these responses are real time, or these are I'm listening to them with some lag? Are these real time answers? Okay.
Well,
So
yeah.
Yeah.
thank you. So I was talking about yes, thank you. So I was talking about the status. So status, I was talking about whether it is yet to start, or it is in progress, or it isn't done. These requirements are, so that will undergo in the status. And then comes the design document, architectural design document. Here you can place what you know. Any idea what you can place in this section, architectural design document? A reference to
The
any design. Yeah, Aparna, you wanted to say something?
no, like the business required document. Can we place that also here?
Yeah, so from where it has been referred, you can definitely place there. Then technical specification document, if it is it has got any reference to that, you will point the reference number, like technical specification requirement ID, that you can mention in the technical specification, and also the name of the document of this technical specification document. Then comes column software module. If any specific software module you want to mention, you are going to mention, and this requirement has been traced well and talked well, in which test case you are going to mention that, and whether it has been tested or not, you are going to mention that it in tested in. So in tested in, it will come the environment. Do you remember environment last time we talked about?
Yes,
Various testing environment.
yes,
Oh, yeah.
Everyone does it remember this?
yes, yes.
Yes.
Okay. So thank you so much. And that you are going to mention that into the test today. Then comes this functional requirement document. So there are few we are going to talk about. Brenda, would you like to take few slides?
Yes, Gaurav. I was waiting for you to
Okay.
take a break. Yeah.
Thank you, Brenda. Yeah.
So, yeah, welcome. Hi, guys. Here, if we can see, we are trying to learn different kind of documentation, which is quite essential and very helpful for the overall process of project, delivery or to build the understanding between the development team and the customers. So, just to make it sound simple, what does these kind of documentation, like now we are going to study functional specification document or functional requirement specifications. It is called both the names FRS and FST. So what do you understand when you just hear this words called as functional requirement specification or functional requirement document? Any thoughts? You all are open to actually share whatever you feel like. Nobody? Yes? Yeah, you can share anything, whatever you feel from these words, okay? No worries.
The functionalities that have to be incorporated that are specified in the
Louder, please.
document.
Louder, please. Yeah, yeah. You are on the track. Louder, please.
The functionalities that have to be shown in the project that is included in the document.
Okay, very well said. What about others? Hey guys, wake up. I mean, today everybody's quite silent. How about Aparmita, Aparna, Pratibha, Suchna, Savan? Yeah,
I wasn't replying because I thought I've already done this. So,
that's okay. That's okay. That's not an issue. You can very well.
so it basically elaborates all the requirements and from a user perspective, whatever is to be a part of the project. So it all the software functionals and the hardware and everything that is supposed to be a part of the project.
Okay, okay, right. What about others? Yeah. Other we have more or less the basic idea, but if anybody wants to add something more.
It is the document that describes all the that functions that the product has to perform.
Absolutely. Guys, this is a very straightforward and direct question. There is no hidden agenda into this. Whatever this document says, or if the name of the document is, this is what the document does. I really like such documents which are very easy and there is no jargon involved. Like if I'm saying functional specification documents, it simply means whatever functionality that needs to be developed or created in the particular project, all that functionalities, all those functionalities are mentioned in this document. Okay. Now if I were you, or I was actually expecting this question, or you can or you should ask, why do we create this document? Okay. I mean, we have other documents, we have diagrams, and why this document? So because I used to have such kind of questions earlier. So I think I had given this example prior also, that as a team, customers and your development team kind of speak or understand different languages. What do I mean by this? Uh, it's like when a customer comes, they'll tell you their requirement in plain English or plain words, what is their ask, and they do not know what kind of technical challenges or limitations we have in development or whatever. It's their requirement, they'll give you. Now as a BA, okay, or as a bridge between these two teams, we have to convert those requirements in such a sophisticated and easy to understand way, wherein here all the stakeholders, including your development team, your testing team, your senior management, or even your customer as well as, they should be able to understand that. So we kind of, it's a basically high level FSD, wherein, we write details about all the requirements. Okay. So for example, if we have, if you want to, build a software like WhatsApp, for example. See, I always prefer to take examples of products which we use on daily basis. So it is easy to connect and understand. So if somebody wants to build a software like WhatsApp, then what are the requirements? The requirements are, okay, whoever people are in your contact books, and if they have WhatsApp installed, they should be shown in the WhatsApp friends list. You should be able to create group. You should be able to chat, share pictures, share videos. So whatever I just mentioned, all these are requirements. So you get my point. So basically, this document has technical and functional. When I say functional, means what work it has to do. Technical means, okay, if I say I want to develop this in .NET, I have to develop this using web services. I have to develop using this particular script. So when all these technicalities comes in the picture, we mention that. And don't worry, as a BA, you are not supposed to be super expert in technical part, but your customer, or at times your team proposes that to the customer, and you are well aware of that. So don't have this preconception in the mind that, oh, I have to know all this. No, that's absolutely fine. You will be told, you will be guided about what kind of technology that can be used. Okay. So this document is a is descriptive requirement document, and as I mentioned earlier, it is used by developers, testers, business stakeholders, and everybody. So this is like a centralized document for everyone to understand what are the requirements we are working on. Though it's mentioned very less, but this is a very important document. And as I mentioned, it is pretty easy to read and easy to understand. Now you have gone through this much training. I'm pretty sure you will be able to understand any FSD because it's written in English. It has all the ingredients, or all the I would say pointers which are already studied by you, and it's actually easy to understand. Okay. So we will, I mean, I think Gaurav would share later that we have this assignment kind of where we encourage you to prepare one FSD or BRD, and on that basis your confidence level and exposure also increases, that you get enough confident that you can also create your FSD or BRD. Okay. So anybody has any doubts in this? I think it is a very straightforward explanation. Yes.
I have one question, like who will approve this FRS?
Very good question. Okay, so here try to remember, in every organization, whenever we create any formal document. Okay, now this is a formal document. Why am I saying formal documents? Because you can have some rough documents for your own understanding, but when we create any documents which are needed to be shared with the customers, those should be those are supposed to be approved by a hierarchy of people. Okay, it's not a single approver method. When I say hierarchy of people means or team members means Suchana, it was Suchana, right? So yeah, for example, if you create a BRD, and assuming you're a junior or you're a BA, right? Or you're a business analyst, or you're a senior business analyst, for example. Okay. So if you're a senior business analyst, first of all, your document will be reviewed and approved by your team manager or team lead. Okay. In case of Agile, it should be your Scrum Master. Okay. Post Scrum Master, it will be reviewed and approved. Reviewed and approved means they read it, they try to ensure that whatever customer had mentioned, it is there, it is properly mentioned with all the required inputs which are beneficial for the developers to go ahead and develop. So yeah, maybe a senior BA, then a Scrum Master, then a product owner, and then if required by your project sponsor, we call it. Generally, project sponsor is the last person approval and the highest approval. It basically means the person who are person or team or organization sponsoring your project has to also approve that. Okay. So
Are
from
we involving,
organization side, yeah.
yeah, are we involving the customer for the review or not?
Honestly, in the documents, many a times customers are not asked to review it, and they are not in the see, they can review as in from the understanding point of view, right? But then in the approval matrix, we just take a final approval from them that accepted and agreed by customer. Okay, so that means it's approved by both the parties. So what happens, you prepare it, your all the seniors review and approve it, and once it is reviewed, then we share with the customer that this is a final copy from our end, and then they can accept it, or if they need any updates or changes to be done, they do it. Get my point?
Yeah, yes, thank you.
Oh, yeah. Anybody else has any queries?
So
Very good question.
I would add something over here for Suchana. Yes, indeed, a very good question to understand because it came into the agile and Scrum. So earlier, what used to happen, we used to gather the requirement, and those gathered requirement used to get approved by the hierarchy, as Prerna said, by the seniors, and after their approval, it used to go to customer for approval purpose, so that when they give the sign off to the document, the work will start. Are you getting my point? So sign off was the key. Now what is happening? So what will happen if customer is busy, they are not going to get give sign off, won't you start your work? That will be the biggest excuse to not to start the work. Okay, and thereby the entire timeline will be delayed. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
If sign off won't come, the timeline will be disturbed. Do you agree with this?
Yeah.
So yeah, so that's the very reason, the moment you have created your own document, you have passed it to the client, you can wait for 24 hours or 48 hours maximum, not more than that, and then you can start working on it. Because when customer has to come back, they will come back, you will not wait for the approval. So this is only from the in-house, as Prerna explained, that you will continue to get approval of. Okay, not from the customer. Customer is supposed to give sign off, but now it is not mandatory anymore. So that only I wanted to add. So yes, over to you, Prerna.
Yes. But I just wanted to add, Gaurav, here, in many organizations, maybe the smaller ones, they do ask for the customer sign off. Maybe in bigger organization, that's fine. Earlier where I worked, it was like one of the mandate, but because if it is approved by customers, then they go ahead. Maybe in bigger organizations, they skip this because of the brand they are, but depends organization to organization. Yes. Can we go to the next slide, please?
Yes.
Yeah. So here we see system requirement specification and or system requirement document. So can anybody read this for me, please?
Yes. System requirement specification or system requirement document. A detailed document containing information about how the complete system has to function and enumerates hardware, software, functional, and behavioral requirements of the system. This document elaborates on the requirement from the perspective of observational behavior only and doesn't consider technical or design bias.
Okay. So what it means is, earlier we have mentioned that what all requirement has to be done, that is mentioned. In this, we learn that how the complete system will work. Okay, that means what will be the system flow, like what I was mentioning earlier, it was just a requirement, right? Now it is a more granular level. Like for example, considering the WhatsApp example, we can have this wherein you have to mention that what all system requirements are for WhatsApp kind of similar application, right? So in that, what I would say, functionalities needed to be done on a granular level. In what ways? That you have this list of contacts, and then your application should be able to speak with that contact list. Speak as in to connect with. It's a little technical. There will not be much of, I would say, see, it's mentioned that it doesn't consider technical or design bias, means it will not be focused too much on, okay, .NET does this, Java does this, or maybe this script does that. It will not be totally dependent on the technology, but then as a system, as an application, as a product, what it will do, that is mentioned. Okay, so requirements, earlier document is kind of like a high level, wherein you have you just mention what will happen. Like for example, you will share the photos, you will share the pictures. Okay, it was mentioned there. Here it will be more specific, like, okay, the application will have a folder where it will say it will save all the pictures and videos, and then it will fetch from there and it will display in that particular group where you want to show. So you try to understand it. Earlier it was only plain English requirement. Now it is more specific to your system or your application. So you should be able to create group, and you should be able to add the other another customer, like click on a particular person and that request will go to them, and then they can accept, they are added. Or you cannot share more than 30 pictures. So once you reach to max limit, then you'll get an error that cannot share more than 30 pictures. So you see, now we're talking more about system or more about application. That point of view. You're not talking only about we want to do this, but how we do it. The how part has inculcated. Or you have to you will get updates, alarm, and not alarm, updates, notification, and then your phone should automatically update, or you can manually update every version, or things like that. You can, how you will change your status, or your status stays there for 24 hours. So how you can change your display pic. So all these things, how part, earlier it was just mentioned it will be done, but how, that will be mentioned here in a very systematic way. Though it has more of the functional and technical side, but not including the technical. That means I will not write, okay, I will use Microsoft this version, or I will use this software, or I will use this technology. That is not mentioned, but it is mentioned that what this application or product is supposed to do. Are you able to understand from with this what I've mentioned? Any doubts you have? Yes, no, please say something.
Yes, trying to understand. Yes.
Yeah, trying to understand means let me give you more clarity. See, I know for you right now, both the documents might look or sound familiar. They are to an extent, but there are some drastic changes. Like, first of all, okay. Okay. Now again, I'm going back to food example. Okay. So in earlier, in the FRD or FSD, the requirement is mentioned as prepare vegetable pulao or vegetable biryani. Okay, this is my FSD. And you agree to it, me agree to it, Gaurav agrees to it. Okay, this is the FS, this is a requirement. Okay. Are we good? Everybody understood? What is
Yes.
what
Yeah.
is the requirement? Okay.
Okay.
So in system specification document, I'll give you the recipe to make it or how it is done. Now, do you see the difference? Earlier, it was just a one-liner that this is has to be done, or we have to do this. And in this, we are telling in detail whatever has to be, how it has to be done. Then I'll say, take this much rice, take these many vegetables, take these many spices. I have it in the cooked till this time, and you can cook in the pressure cooker or in the vessel or whatever. So you see the difference. Earlier, it was just mentioned in one liner, very straightforward, that this is my requirement, and now I'm telling you, or as an organization or as a BA, you're explaining how it has to be done. So you see the difference in the specification. Earlier it was just one liner or maybe a few lines, and here you are having in detail explanation. So
Yes.
there I will not
Yeah.
specify what brand of spices I want or what brand of rice I want. People please go on mute because I get my echo. Yeah, you can unmute when you want to speak. Thank you. So you see the difference. Now that is why it is mentioned how I am doing it. Okay. So how means, okay, cook the rice separately, make the whatever the thick curry of the vegetable or whatever you are making it. So you get the and then there is no hard and fast, I would say, restriction or what brand of rice or what brand of spices or what brand of anything that you have to make. Okay. So that is why we are saying that there is no consideration of technical or design bias, that they are not binded to any particular technology. They are just explaining how the system should work. So are you guys clear now? What is the difference?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, good. Thank you.
Yes.
Sora, you want to add something here, please? Or we can go ahead?
No, we can go ahead.
Okay.
Should I move to the next?
Yeah, please. Thank you. Okay. So, as you mentioned in the FSD, when I was explaining, we have mentioned that these documents are very useful for the developers and testers. Okay. So, first of all, I just want to have the clarity. All of you understand what is a tester or who is a tester or who is a testing team, right? Can anybody tell me what do you understand when you say testing team or testers? What anything? And please feel free to say wrong answers, because when you say something, it's not about right or wrong, it's about the confidence and about the initiative that you're taking and you're sharing. So I just want you to share that what do you feel, or no, what do you understand by when we say a testing team or testers? Yes.
Testing how well it works and to find all the bugs.
Okay, very well. Yes. And
They are the person, like, that's the team which detects the errors or the bugs in the code that the developers develop.
It
not
is like
exactly in the code but in the system. Okay, yeah, but
Yeah.
close. Yes.
testing is like finding out how well something works.
Okay. Okay.
Was that a tester would be like someone that tests a function out to see how it would work, like putting in like certain data to get other like a certain kind of data back, like an output.
Mhm. Yes, very well explained, Savan. Yes, good. We're on the right path. Anybody else who is left? Yeah, Tejaswini.
Oh, yeah. I mean, they even test multiple scenarios, like, like, I mean, like, even they try with multiple cases. That's what I mean. They
Yes,
try
yes,
to
actually.
give
Yeah.
multiple-
You're right. Be confident. Yeah.
yeah, I
Yes.
mean to say they try to give multiple inputs and try the result out, whether it's coming out or, I mean, correct or not.
Okay. So I have two very simple examples. One might be a little easier one, and second might be very appropriate. First is you remember in school sometimes, not for the final exams but for the surprise test or some in class test, your teacher used to tell that your peers or your bench partner can review or test your paper. Do you remember? And
Yeah.
I don't know all
Yeah.
the schools does that, but many does. It's just a kind of fun or more involving activity where the teacher really wants to take a break and so yeah. So when you have your friends or your bench partner's paper, what you used to do? You should test it. You used to actually check it, but you should test it, right? Like, okay, has he or she written this well? Okay, fine, it's a tick. No, not. And then they used to also tell you to tell the other person that okay, they did this right or not, right? So that was a very simple way of test. Another example I have is again food related, but it is actually apt. I guess many of you might have heard or follow this show called MasterChef Australia. or there are many master chefs going on nowadays in India also. Has anybody cooking show?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah.
Have
Yeah.
heard of- yeah. So at the end what the judges do. I'm really not able to remember the names. I don't follow that much, but I see some snippets. So what they do, they test your final dish, okay, and they tell you how it is. Okay, what they tell you is, okay, the salt is less, the oil is more. I'm just giving random explanations, or you could have cooked that better, or this should be this, right? So how do they do that? My question is, how do they do that?
Based on different criteria.
Yes. So what is their basic understanding, or what is their basic nature is, they have expected results in their mind. Okay, when I'm trying to correspond to your test cases, they have this expected taste. The particular judges have this particular taste in mind, and then they compare with that. They really want you to saute onions till this much time. They really want your maybe color to be golden brown or whatnot. So that is an expected result. So absolutely in a similar manner, you prepare and you test on the basis of test cases, wherein you have this expected result that the system should work in this way, and for that you prepare a test case. You have the test scenario. Like, for example, if somebody is making a particular dish, so okay, the dish should look in this color, it should be cooked in 15 minutes, it should have this taste. So imagine, and prerequisites only, this dish should be vegetarian, this should have this many vegetables. So try to understand. I'm just trying to map the example with this. So we have the test scenario that, okay, this dish we are supposed to make in this much time, the prerequisites, these many ingredients. The test data is, this should be the inputs, like you have to add these many things, maybe salt and vegetables and whatnot, and then these are the steps. So you cook the gravy first, and then you add the, any example you can take. So these are the steps. So how will you will correspond this to your technical or your industry examples? So if you are preparing WhatsApp like chat messenger, okay, like for example, my test ID is T101, just for simplicity. Test scenario is to prepare to create a group. So my testing scenario is I want to create a group. Okay. So what is the prerequisite for creating a group? I should have the option for create group. Second, I should have enough people in my friends list or contact list. Okay. So okay, I have 5 people. I have create. So then test data. Test data means, I'll give you this example. Whenever any application, like for example, when Facebook was created or when WhatsApp was created, in the company, they did not have everybody's data, right? I mean, you and me did not have WhatsApp that time. So how they used to do that? All the employees or all the testers or developers, they have to actually install that on their personal or any test device. A company also gives you separate devices to test on that device, and they used to prepare that. So because you do not have the actual data, you input all the test data or raw data or rough data, whatever you can call it. Okay, and on that basis you test your applications. So you might have some ABC 1 2 Z, any kind of data mentioned, and you try to work on that. And if that works well, and then they have more refined data, and then they work on that. When we call it UAT, user acceptance test, that time actually we try to add more business like or more real life data. Like you can have your any hypothetical name, and any hypothetical maybe Aadhaar card, PAN card, social security number, things like that. So what I'm trying to tell you is, in testing, you're trying to actually get the feel or get the actual result of how this application works, or is it working as per the as per the expectations. And when the result comes, actual result, you validate or verify it with your expectations. Okay, so if I'm able to create a group and chat in the group, share media, then I'm successful. If I'm getting any particular error, because still we are in testing mode, then it is not working. Okay, so and then the tester will fail the test case. Okay, They'll say, okay, getting error while creating a group or getting error while adding people. Okay, so this is the status of this test case will be fail. Okay, there are two status generally, pass and fail. So that particular test case will be fail. Okay, the remarks will be the same line which I just mentioned, that not able to add or getting error, getting this error. Testers are also very specific. They mention the kind of error because on that basis the developer will again work on that. So testers preferably do not go into the code, but they actually run the software or they check the application like any other users will when it is finally live or it's actually working, and then they give you errors. So they have a lot of test cases, and this kind of functionality to test an application is called as a test case. Okay, and you also have a separate environment. When I say separate environment means developer team has a different environment. That's called a dev environment. They have their software to create and build application and all that. They have all the frameworks. If you have some technical background, so you might correlate, otherwise that's absolutely fine. Then the testers have a different setup in their machine. It's called testing environment. Okay, so these are different environments, and why they are created like that? Because sometimes the machine configuration is different. See, like it's like when you go to somebody's house, the spoons in their bottles or and the containers is different. So it's your skill, like how you make how much sugar you put in your tea or how much spices you put in your any particular dish. So that environment is different. Your kitchen environment is different. Or your study room is different from your friend's study room when you were in school or college. So that the way you try to ensure your application is working fine in different environments. We also have user acceptance test. That environment is also different. That is very similar to like production. Then we also have pre-production. That is like a replica of production. Like it's just like an actual user's mobile, or in a company there are specific phones or laptops available only for testing purpose, and they are just same like any other person's mobile, new with all the software, and they test it. So these are different scenarios, and as a BA sometimes you are expected to test application. You are expected to create test cases, and don't worry, the format is already predefined in most of the organizations. So you just have to fill in the gaps, kind of. You'll have the test ID generated, then you'll have to write the scenario. Okay, I need to add customers, I need to share media, I need to have the updates, I need to have the maybe able to have different fonts and colors and whatnot, things like that. And then what are the steps involved in that? 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, open the application, create group, and add people. So it's a very in detail systematic process which really helps the testing team and in turn the development team to have the confidence that the application and or the product is working fine. Okay, so ultimately you close with the remarks that okay, if it is passed, then yes, it's passed, functionality is working fine. In case if it is not working properly, you fail it and you mention the remarks accordingly. Are we good? This is just, I try to give you a gist of the important gist of this entire process. Yes, no?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, everybody is comfortable with this understanding?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Super. Thank you so much.
So
Gaurav, you wish to add something?
I have
Yeah.
one question.
Yeah,
Excuse
Suji.
me. Yeah. So why there are different types of testing if there is one software to test? Because I saw like the acceptance testing, black box testing, end-to-end
Mhm.
test. So so all those testing are done for one software.
There are different type of testing. One of them you missed is called regression testing. That simply means that you are kind of working on the functionality again. See, okay, that's a very good question, and
Can I go ahead and
yeah, you can. I'll add
okay.
it to you. Please go ahead.
Okay. So let me ask this thing very easily to you. How this testing will be done, you will be able to understand. Is it okay if I can give example from kitchen?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes.
Super. So say for example, you are going to chop and dice few raw vegetables. Okay. Why? Because you are going to cook it. Like we take the example of biryani or something. Okay. And before that, I mean not biryani, pulao. okay, or something like that, where vegetables are required. So initially, what you will gather, you will gather some utensils, some plates where you can keep the raw materials. Do you agree with this?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
And
Yes.
that time you will test. What testing you will perform? Utensil test you will perform, whether these are clean dishes, these are clean utensils, there is no no spots are there, no oiliness is there, this is complete dry plate and all. These kind of check you will perform. Yes.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, that is number one. Number two, what you are going to perform, the raw vegetables or raw materials you will pick, those should also be fresh. Are you going to perform the freshness of those raw vegetables? Yes?
Yes.
Okay. The third step, what we will do, you will cut. When you will cut, before cutting itself, you will perform a check on the cutters, whether they are sharpened well, whether they are able to cut it or not. They are not, highly sharpened that even if they touch to the skin, they damages the skin. Okay. So these kind of precautionary check you will perform with the dicer and cutter as well, and with the knife as well. Do you agree with this? This level of testing you will also perform. Sometimes it is
Yes.
conscious testing or unconscious testing, depending upon your usability, how frequent you are using that particular component or particular material. Now you are cutting the things, and after cutting again you will perform a check. In that you will check that from inside how the vegetables looks like, whether they are not much ripened, they are not spoiled, and they are still fresh. And then you will wash them, let it dry if possible, and then you will be assured that whatever is ready with you as a raw material are completely fresh and not spoiled from inside. Agree with me? This level of testing you're
Yeah.
performing again.
Yes.
Now
Yes.
again, you are putting it into the cooking utensil. You are preparing it, adding the spices and salt and all. In between, what you do, you have someone test the degree of his spice check, degree of his saltiness check, and then you make sure that it is getting prepared well. During the cooking, also you perform a check. Sometime, do you do that?
Yes.
Yes,
Yes,
during
yes.
the sometime.
Yes.
And once it is prepared and ready, and then also you perform a final check, and you see that everything is prepared well. Okay, every single time you are performing a check, even if you are going to buy any item outside, so before buying it, before ordering it, and even after order, every single time you perform a test. Even if you are going to buy something from online market, you check its review. After coming, when you use it, you add your own review. So these are steps, are example of test. Just I wanted to give you a context so that I can give you the real answer, but this context I just wanted to have keep in your mind why there are variety of checks or tests. Yes, Prerna, coming back to you now, you can continue to ask. Yeah.
Thank you for the explanation, Gaurav. I guess, Nutina, that is what you were looking for, right?
Yeah. Thank you. Yes.
Yes, yes, yeah. Thank you, Gaurav. Yeah, we can go to the next slide, please.
Okay. So next slide, I'm going to stop screen share, and before I go to the next slide, I want everyone to understand this, and I'm going to reshare my screen. And that was when we were talking about this thing. What was that? We were talking about user story. So I want this to be explained to everyone. So can I go ahead with explaining this?
Yes.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
Okay. So till now you have this thing, clarity about the user story. So user story are written like this as a hook I should be able to do what, so that Y will happen. Now, who means actor, what means action, and outcome is Y. I want everyone one by one go ahead and start and create one user story. So you will read this example as a who. I should be doing what, so that why will be completed. So you will read one line from here, but you will be completing this example. Is it clear to you what to do?
Yeah.
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 BM means branch manager. Just keep it in mind. So who is going to go first to try it? Who wants to take this first? Come on.
Yeah, I will do it. Gaurav.
Okay, Aparna, go ahead, try it.
As a branch manager, I should be able to view so that as a branch manager, I should be able to view the transactions so that my customer is able to do online banking well.
Very well attempted. Can we have a round of applause for Aparna? Thank you so much for attempting so well. So can we have really round of applause? So thank you so much. Very well
Thank
attempted.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So Aparna, thank you so much. Who will be the next? Who wants to go next? Try next.
Yeah. I
Okay,
try.
Sawan, please go ahead. Try.
Uh, cashier. What's the T in the parentheses? Is that like
Taylor, cashier
Taylor?
or Taylor.
Okay.
Ta-
So cashier or Taylor.
So take one. Just read cashier.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So cashier receives payment, and
Yeah.
and then he gives the change, basically the cash.
So you have to write the user story, and the format is here in the example. Complete this second row.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
with
As
this.
a cashier, I should be able to receive payment, and then so a cashier should be able to offer services to receive payment and then be able to give money back to the customer.
Okay, well attempt. Thank you so much, Sawan. Can we have a round of applause for Sawan? I want someone else to try the cashier part. The
Sir,
second.
me?
Okay, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah. As a cashier, received 10 lakh rupees, and outcome is like I mean receives 10 lakhs and deposit the outcome is like deposit the 10 lakhs in that.
Okay, super. Can you read again whatever you said as per example?
As a who, I should be able to do what? So
instead of who, place all these
cashier.
Yeah.
Cashier receives
Start again, Pratibha.
as a who?
So instead of who, what you will speak?
Cashier, sir.
So then speak again complete statement instead of who.
As a who, I should be able to do what, so that why?
No, Pratibha. I wanted you to speak instead of who, this part.
Cashier.
Okay? So speak
As,
from
okay. As a cashier receives money, that amount 10 lakh, and so that it deposit in outcome is like deposit something.
Yeah. So can you rephrase it?
I'm not sure I'm giving.
You were on the track, but can you rephrase it, Pratibha?
Can I try?
Yeah. Go ahead. Try. Tejaswini, right?
Yeah.
So can we have
As
a
a
round of applause for Pratibha for try? Thank you so much, Pratibha. Well done. So yes, go
Thank
ahead.
you. Thank you, everyone.
Tejaswini.
As a cashier, I should be able to receive the customer's deposit and deposit in the bank account, so that so that I can give back the cash whenever the customer asks for the cash.
Well attempted. Thank you so much, Tejaswini. Can we have a round of applause for Tejaswini as well? So yeah, I will rephrase it again. as a cashier, I should be able to receive the cash so that the deposit will go under the name of the customer. Okay, that is one. As a cashier, I should be able to receive payment so that cash will be deposited to customer's account. Is it simple? And the second
Yeah.
attempt is good, able to understand,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The
Can
another
I
part.
try? Can I
Yes.
try one time?
Okay, okay, Aparna, now you can try one more time.
As a
The last
cashier,
one.
oh, last one. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought I'll try the second one more time.
Okay, try the second one more time then.
As a cashier, I should be able to receive a check so that I can give my customer the cash.
Yeah.
Okay, okay, that's okay. So
Okay.
that's fine. But everything should be linked with each other. So as a cashier, I should be able to receive cash or check so that it has to do outcome with the cash so that the cash will be deposited or not immediately given. The moment you
Okay.
receive, after receiving, you will deposit, right? You will update. You don't even give immediately back, right?
Yeah, we have to update the account.
Yeah. So the
Sir, in the US, we can have cashback immediately from the check.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. From the check, of course.
Yeah,
From the
that's
check.
what I said. Yeah.
Okay, okay. So yes, but before that, the system gets updated, right? Immediately.
No, when we receive a payment check or from some check from a friend or a
So
relative, we
understand
can
this.
immediately.
As a
cash
cashier, I should be able to receive the check so that you can give the cash back. But before that, immediately what do? Immediately you update the system. Without updating the system, next step does not come into the picture. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes.
So those information has to get into the system. Then only the next step will be released. Are you able to
Right.
follow what I'm saying? So we
Yes.
have
Yeah.
to immediately what can be done that you are going to mention over here. So yes, as a cashier, I should be able to give. Uh, so what did you say? As a cashier, I should be able to receive the
Receive the
payment,
check.
receive the check, so that I can update the system for the cashback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
For the cashback to be released, for the cash to be released,
For the cash to be released. Yes.
Yeah, and it is not yet released. So that was one thing. So the other one is Taylor. Taylor opens the locker. Okay. So anyone wants to give it a try with this example?
Can I try?
Yeah, go ahead.
As a teller, I should be able to open a locker so that the customer has a
Should I
safe
try again?
deposit.
No, let her complete. Yes, you complete first. Go
Should I
ahead.
go again?
Yes.
Okay. As a teller, I should be able to open a locker so that the customer has a safe deposit.
Yeah, that's good. Fantastic. Can we have a round of applause for Aparmita as well? Thank you so much, Aparmita. So anyone wants to give it a try once again? I think everyone is done.
Can I try?
Okay. Yes, someone try.
As a teller, I should be able to open a account for the customer so that they have access to a bank locker.
That's wonderful attempt. Thank you so much, Savan. Let's have a round of applause for Savan once again. Thank you so much. So we have come to the end, but before we resume, what I want every one of you, primarily who Savan, Aparna, Pratibha, and also get in touch with Sonali and Tejaswini. Okay, you come in a team, and what you can think of? You can think of as in one company, one organization, and what comes into your mind, Tejaswini, immediately the moment I say one organization, what comes in your mind? What type of organization comes into your mind? Tejaswini, quickly unmute yourself and you can speak up randomly.
Facebook.
Facebook, social media. Okay. So thank you. So you are somewhere related to social media, or you are going to create your own social media platform. Okay. So whatever the features you can think of, I want you to come together and allocate some time where you can chat with each other. If needed, you form your own groups. Okay. And you create a BRD document. What is expected to go inside? First challenge you need to overcome of the communication. Okay. Then second challenge you need to overcome of the planning, and third challenge you need to overcome of the syncing in together, and the fourth challenge you need to overcome is creating a BRD document together. One person can or two-person can play the role of business analyst and senior business analyst. One could be who product owner, and the another person can be the scrum master. Another person can be uh, tester or developer, or you can decide amongst you. Okay. Voluntarily you need to come up together and you need to play this game. Understand, this is a game. This is just for an experience. So may I have your confirmation that you are going to play this game, you are going to perform this, and you can come back next time with the BRD document. I want you to just give it a try. Can you do that?
Yeah.
Apart,
Yes.
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 so Pratibha says yes, Tejaswini says yes, Savan says yes. Okay. So you need to
Yes.
also, okay, Aparna says yes. So you also need to incorporate Sonali, be after her and ask her that she will complete the recording because she was missed today. So you can just remind her. And
Sure.
so I'm looking forward that you will do that. Anyone who wants to volunteer as a scrum master is a leader who will make sure that this happens. So who can volunteer that? Come on, any volunteer.
Mm,
Okay, sir. I will make a group of the
Awesome.
team.
Can we have a round of applause for Pratibha? Because it really takes courage, confidence, and initiative. Thank you so much. And this is what is expected from business analyst. Thank you so
Thank you.
much, Pratibha. Okay,
Thank you.
awesome. Amazing. So okay, on this note, I want, because I was talking to you, Pratibha. So, Pratibha, what does come into your mind? Because we have come to the end. What do you feel like saying about today's session?
Yeah. First of all, thanks to you and Prerna for the session. Yeah, day by day it's getting more interesting, and today is very interesting and informative. Thank
Thank you
you.
so much, Pratibha. Pratibha, call out someone's name on the screen. You see,
Tejaswini?
it's Tejaswini. What do you feel like saying?
Hi, thank you, Gaurav and Prerna, for the session. Yeah, I got to know so many documentations that you guys taught us today, and there were really good examples about the food and all. So yeah, we were able to understand much better, and yeah, we will go ahead and make the group and discuss about the BRD document that you told about the Facebook. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Yeah,
Super amazing. So,
yeah,
Tejaswini, call out someone's name on the screen. You see,
Aparna.
Aparna. What do you feel like saying, Aparna?
Today's session was very interesting. Thanks to you, Gaurav and Prerna. Yeah, we are going to form a group and work on the BRD document. And if we find any doubts or anything, we'll definitely get in touch with you.
Oh,
Thanks.
super. Aparna,
Over
Aparna,
to,
yeah, before you pass anyone, so will you be able to connect with Sonali and
yeah, I
okay, and
asked her, she said she's in some emergency.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
So I will tell her whatever you told today and I'll ask
Okay,
her to watch
and
the
just
recording.
inform that Pratibha is just volunteering to bring everyone together, so she will have the idea as well, even though it is
Yes,
everyone.
yes, definitely, Gaurav. I'll let her
Okay,
know.
so yeah, call out someone's name on the screen, please.
Savan,
Sawan, what do you feel like saying, Sawan?
Yeah, I would like to thank you both for the amazing class today. I learned a lot. The examples made it much easier to understand them. And I'm learning a lot more about user story and all that, like understanding the way to think. And it was very this was a very good class.
Cool. Thank you so much. So someone call out someone's name on the screen, you see?
Suchna.
Yes, Suchna. Suchna, what do you want to add?
Yeah, today's session is really very much interesting and informative.
Thank you, Suchna. Call out someone's name on the screen, you see?
Prerna?
Yes, Brenda, over to you. You can add up, you can
Thank you
subtract.
so much. I really loved the enthusiasm today. Everybody was responding, asking questions, superb questions in today's session. So overall, a super energetic and wonderful class. I thoroughly enjoyed it. Thank you so much. Over to you, Gaurav.
Thank you so much, everyone. So thank you so much, Prerna. So I once again reiterate, I want to reiterate, I have been really receiving, videos from one person. Can you guess who is the one person who is trying to give his, her or his 100%? Can you guess anyone? Who is that person?
Sonali.
Okay, Aparna says Sonali. Okay, any another guesses from today's session? After today's session, who is more proactive? Who would be more proactive? Who would be giving her, trying to give her 100%? Someone want to guess?
That
Who
would be
would be?
me.
Okay, so this is Pratibha. Why did I ask you? Because she volunteered today willingly. So would like to really applaud for Pratibha. Pratibha is really doing well. Today also she shared one of the video and she will be sharing in the group as well. So yes, thank you so much Pratibha for doing it. Continue to do it. And apart from Pratibha, I want to also request every one of you, whatever you are listening, okay, you need to summarize that. It is not for me, it is for you, so that confidently you can crack the interview. And I want everyone wants to crack the interview. Does everyone want to?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
If that's the case, I am expecting it from everyone at least one summary. Okay, so that's the only thing I just wanted to add.
Yeah. Hello,
In,
sir. Yeah.
yes, well,
Thank you so much, and the credit goes to you because always inspire us, motivate us for giving us 100%. So thanks to you for the motivations.
no problem, Pratibha. Keep up this good work. Thank you so much. So
Thank you.
yes, so that's what I just wanted to add. Keep up the good work, and if you are not doing already, start doing it because it is never too late. Okay, still we are into the class, and next time what we are going to learn, that I'm going to tell, we are going to get into more of the domain knowledge. Okay, so what all the domains, insurance domain, payment domain, and whatnot. And after that, if time permits, we will be completing 2 workshops. Okay, so remain excited, but before that you should come up with the all the assignments what we have asked you to complete. So thank you so much, and I wish you really great days ahead, a great week ahead, and good night. Bye bye, take care.
Thank you. Good night.
Thank you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.
Good night,
Bye-bye.
everyone.
Good night. Bye bye. Take care, guys. Bye.